Motherfucking piece of shit. Windstar, motherfucker. Oh shit, I swear to fucking God, if I fucking see them again, I'm gonna fucking fuck them up, dude. How do I freaking lose that? They didn't even give me a chance, dude. Alright, guys. So it's the day after. Feeling like crap. Obviously, you guys saw in the last episode, lost $1,500 at Windstar.
Fucking losing $1,500, bro? Holy fuck! Fuck you, Windstar! Fuck you, bitch! What am I fucking thinking? $1,500 at the Nino, man? Of course that's not gonna work out, dude. And you didn't even do the right bets.
Terrible decision. Terrible decision to even go. You guys are probably gonna see this a week after, but it's a day after for me. Feeling not as tilted, but pretty tilted. I don't really care about this intro anymore. I'm just gonna go play poker and try to run it back in. So just roll the freaking clip, man. Roll the freaking clip.
All right, we're back here playing 2-5 again, botting for 15 hundo, and what a good way to start the session by looking down at pocket aces. Yes, I love that hand. It's been a while since I looked down at that hand. Middle position opens it up to $20, and here I 3-bet to 60. Of course, I'm gonna 3-bet my hand. I'm not gonna play this slow. Now, something funny happens. Small blind just cold calls my bet, and then now the opener folds, which is, I thought it was a little bit weird. But anyways, it's heads up to the flop. The flop is great. The flop comes 7-10-5 rainbow. So sitting here with aces, probably a dream spot, probably the best thing that could happen. I bet for a small amount to keep everything in, $35, and he calls pretty quickly. We go to the turn. Now the turn comes a queen, and I'm thinking I'm probably still ahead a lot of hands. The only thing I'm really afraid of is pocket queens. Pocket queens could have played it this way. You know, cold call to 60, just called the flop bet, and now he hit a set. That's the only real hand that I'm afraid of. But there's a lot of hands I can get value from. Like there's queen jack, king queen, ace queen. You know, any queen is gonna pay off. Maybe even jack's gonna pay off. So what I do is I bet pretty big here on the turn, trying to really target his one pair holding with the queen. And I bet $200, and to my surprise, he check raises me. He check raises to $400. And I tank for quite a bit, thinking about what are some hands that I could be doing this with. I mean, it was a little bit weird. Why would he check raise and mint check raise at that? I for sure thought about folding this, but I just can't fold this. Like, I'm so far ahead. He doesn't know I have aces. And like what? Like if he had pocket queens, he wouldn't be check raising. Like, it's such a dry board. There's no draws out there. No real draws. The only other thing maybe I could have had was like queen 10. But even that, I still have pretty decent equity to call this. So what I end up doing is I do call this bet, and we go to the river. And the river comes another queen, which I thought was kind of a good card for me. You know, pocket queens is really, really less likely now. I guess ace, queen, king, queen, all that wins. But if he had something weird like 10-7, 10-5, 5-7, some kind of a weird two-pair hand, I'm also beating that quite a bit. But he insta-checks kind of behind once his river comes out, which I thought was weird. If he had bet any amount, I think I was calling no matter what. What I was thinking in my head was, I was like, okay, Chris, you know, I got a thin value bet. You know, some of these spots, I got to make sure I value bet. You know, I could get value from kings, I could get value from jacks, I could get value from... I was thinking of value betting this, but I'm like counting out some chips, and I see in the corner of my eyes, he's like looking at my chips and kind of like licking his lips, like licking his chops. And I'm like, oh man, this doesn't look good. This feels like I'm beat, and he really wants me to bet here. The check was trying to induce me to bet. So after counting my chips and putting it back in, I decided to check back, and he had king queen offsuit for trip queens, and he takes it down. And man, what a cooler. Against that hand on the turn, or even on the flop, I was way ahead. I was like 90% to win, and he sucks out on me. I think he pretty much hit a 4-outer on me to win, or 5-outer on me to win, if he even had all those outs. So wow, aces gets cracked in such a brutal way, and I'm glad that I didn't bet on the river. It was honestly, I lost kind of the minimum there. Just a few hands later, I get involved with the same person, the same opponent that cracked my aces. So I'm in middle position, and I look down at pocket nines, and I decide to open up to $15. You know, pocket nine's not bad, and the gentleman that cracked my aces, he's in the cutoff, and he decides to 3-bet me to $55. And I obviously call. Pocket nine's too good to just straight up fold, and if I'm raising this, it's an overplay. It's not that good of a hand to 4-bet. So I just call, and it goes heads up. Flop comes queen 3-5 with the queen of hearts. I didn't think that this flop was like not that good or not that bad. It was like an okay flop, and when I check it and he checks back, it kind of looks pretty good. I'm not afraid that this guy has a queen here now. I mean, any queen would have bet or should have bet. The turn comes ace of hearts now, so now there is a hard draw, maybe a straight draw, and I check it back to him, and this time he decides to bet out really big, like over bet the pot to 175. And this smelled really weird to me in the moment. Like, if he had an ace, would he bet this big? Like, I don't think he's gonna bet this big. Like, why? What's the point of betting so big, like over pot? Like, he would bet a normal amount, like 75, 80, maybe $100. I mean, could he have ace queen? Yeah, he could, but ace queen would have bet on the flop. Like, there's no point for that hand to check. And now this ace comes and he bets so big. I know I have only pocket nines, but it didn't make any sense. And when it doesn't make sense, I decided that I was gonna call this. Like, I had to. Like, this didn't make any sense. Why bet so big? My hand's probably good. He's probably on a draw and trying to get me off of it. So I call, and now the river bricks out. River's like a deuce of diamonds. And I check it back to him once more, and he fires the last barrel, or the second barrel, I guess. He bets $300. And thinking back on it again, like on the turn, like, what hand's beating me? Ace queen's beating me. Any ace king maybe, ace 10, something like that would beat me with an ace, but I don't think an ace is betting that big. And a queen, yeah, maybe king queen, queen jack might be beating me there too. But it just didn't make any sense. It didn't tell a proper story. And when the river breaks, I decided that I was gonna call any bet. So $300, I laid it out, I looked at him, and then I made the call. And sure enough, he kind of sheepishly says, "Oh, I didn't hit anything." And he turns over king jack of hearts. So he basically had royal flush draw. And I'm glad that I went through with my read. I read his hand. I didn't think that he had a hand that was going to beat me, and I called it down. And the story that he was telling was that he was bluffing. Oh, and now I'm fired up at this point. Made some good plays, lost the minimum, called down a bluff, and I'm looking to get into more pots with this guy because he's making mistakes. So here in this hand, there's an under the gun straddle to $10. Under the gun +1, that's the opponent that I want to take advantage of. Sounds a little bit weird, but he opens it up to $40. Hijack calls the 40, and I look down at pocket deuces in the small blind. Decent hand to try to set mine, and obviously we're super deep, and I want to get into more pots with this guy. So here we go. I call, and the straddler calls, and it's 4 ways. And the flop is a beautiful flop. It's ace deuce 5, 2 diamonds. So I hit the bottom set, exactly what I was looking for, and there's a flush draw out there. And obviously I check it to the aggressor, just, you know, playing in flow. And he looks like he's about to bet. He looks like he's like reaching for chips really slowly, but he's reaching for the chips, and he looked like he was about to bet. And then he just checks it, and it checks through, and it goes to the turn, which kind of really sucks. And the turn is kind of bad. It comes a 7 of diamonds, so it's a flush completing board. But I mean, nobody bet out on this board, so I doubt anybody has a flush. And I can't really check this behind. You know, my hand's too good. I need some protection. So I bet out for 75, looking to get one person to call. Maybe somebody has 1 diamond. Trying to get some value, and man, it's a tough hand when everybody folds and I take it down. I mean, it's a decent pot still, but I could have got way more. But oh well, I'll take the win, and I'm chipping up a bit. I'm just so mad that this guy didn't bet out. He should have bet out. There's an ace on the flop, there's a flush draw, and I don't know how he checked it back. He probably had king queen with no diamonds or something like that again. Let's move on to the next hand. So here I'm in the button, and I look down at 5-4 diamonds. And for all you guys that think I'm a super nit, well, here it is, man. I do open up. I play ranges. So, you know, again, I am pretty nitty. I play pretty tight. But here was a spot. I really like these low suited connected cards, especially in position and squeezing spots. Under the gun +1 limps for $5. Middle position now bumps it up to $35. and I look down at 5-4 diamonds, and it seems like it's a candidate to squeeze 3-bet because of the way that the game flow was, and my image and the ranges that this guy was playing especially. He was super tight, and against tight hands, this hand can crack that. Like, aces can be cracked. It's very hard for him to put me on this hand specifically. So what I end up doing is I 3-bet to $75 on the button. In hindsight, it was kind of small. I don't know why. I thought for some reason he raised to 25 and I was 3xing the 25. I think a better 3-bet would have been $105, maybe $100, $105. Limper now calls, but he calls the 35, and the dealer goes, "Oh, it's not 35, it's 75," and he's like, "Oh, okay, I just call." So I don't think he has a really good hand. He just kind of blundered by calling. He thought that he was calling 35, not 75. And then now the opener, he calls too. So I don't think he has a really, really nutted hand. He has probably like ace king at best. That's what I'm thinking. Because aces, kings, queens would have 4-bet me, and I would have found out right away. But anyways, we go 3 ways, and the flop is actually, again, really, really good for me. It's 5-4 deuce, rainbow. So I got top 2 in a 3-bet pot. That seems very unlikely. It's very hidden. So I'm feeling good right here. The limper checks, and now the opener just donks into me. He bets 125, just straight up. Doesn't even check to me. And it was kind of like stumped me a little bit. I did take my time just a little because I didn't really know what to do here. Like, anything that I did seemed really strong. I was trying to get, obviously, max value because I knew I had the best hand, but I also didn't want, blow up my hand, get him to fold something that might have called me off, like thinking that I'm bluffing. So it was a weird spot. I just was like, if I check raise, it seemed really strong. Obviously, I can't fold. Like, call seemed really strong too. Maybe I could have min clicked it back. I ended up calling here just because check raising seemed stupid. Like, I'm folding out everything that I'm beaten, and I'm getting called by everything that I'm getting beaten by. So I call, and we go to the turn, heads up. The other guy folds. The turn comes a queen, and now he checks. And when he checks, I'm kind of like bummed out. Like, he can't. Let's just think about the hands that he can't be here with. He can't be with aces, kings, and queens. Those would have probably 4-bet pre-flop. They could have, let's say if they didn't 4-bet, they probably could have let out like that. But then once the queen comes, would they really check those hands? No, they want to keep betting, they want to keep protecting, and they still want to get value. So when they check, it really, really looks like ace king. Like, ace queen would have kept betting too. Like, if he hits a queen, top pair tap kicker, why would he stop betting? So when he checks, I didn't see a merit in betting here. I'm folding out again. I'm folding out all the worst hands, and I'm getting called by better hands, which I didn't know what was better, but still. We go to the river. The river is an 8, doesn't complete anything. He checks to me again, and I decide to bet really big, and I try to make it look like I'm bluffing, and I'm like putting all my chips together. I'm not doing it properly, and I'm shaking, and I'm dropping chips, but I bet $500, probably a little over pot, to make it look like I'm bluffing. Maybe I missed. Maybe I was just calling him down with ace king, and I thought I was gonna get looked up by ace king, but he just folds, and I take it down. So yeah, that's how the hand goes. I mean, I didn't know what I could have done there. It was kind of like his hand was capped, my hand was face up. I had a really good hand, so yeah, I just play as it is and don't get as much value as I would have wanted. Okay, last hand of the session. Kind of a short session here. I don't know, I didn't feel really good. I think I was getting sick or something, so I just decided to call it pretty short. Here we look down at pocket jacks on the button. Pretty good hand. There's a straddle. Under the gun one opens to $35. I 3-bet to $80. Kind of on the smaller side again. I don't know why. I think I was seeing different numbers. I didn't know. I think 100, 105 is a better bet. Now the big blind calls the 80, and now the opener tanks for a little bit. Maybe he was thinking of squeezing, but he ends up calling. So we go 3 ways to the flop. The flop's pretty decent. I'm not really mad about it. It was a 10-4-7 rainbow. Checks to me. And it's my hand's pretty good. I need to defend it. I need to get value from it. So I decide to bet out kind of on the bigger side. I bet out $100 on the flop. And unfortunately, big blind folds. And the opener, he kind of tanks for a little bit, but He ends up folding 2, and we just take this down, another smaller pot. These tables are playing real tight. I don't know, I thought Texas was supposed to be bluffier, more wild, but maybe I'm not finding the right tables, or I'm not wild enough, so people are tightening up against my ranges. But hey, you know, I'll take the win, but not getting any value. That's kind of the name of the game right now. I'm getting good hands, getting good spots, and not getting paid, which sucks. Well, folks, that's it. That's it for session number 2. Session number 2 in the books here. I didn't feel like staying any longer. I was sitting right underneath like an air duct or something, and the AC was just blowing straight into me. And I didn't bring a sweater, and I felt really sick. Like my throat was sore, and my head was kind of hurting. I was getting a little headache, and yeah, I didn't want to stay a little longer. I think I was gonna probably punt off all my money if I stayed another hour or two. So I decided to call it. I mean, the good news is I didn't lose. I kind of won a little bit. The bad news is I didn't win that 15 hundo back. I think I won something like $190 or something. You'll see the numbers right here now. So yeah, I think I'm still down for the challenge, but I was less down than what I was, and I'll be back. I'll keep grinding poker. I think poker seems to be working. Hey, 2 winning sessions, 3 winning sessions actually, if you include the very first session. 3 winning sessions in a row with poker. It's working, so I'm gonna keep going with it. So that's it for today. So I will see you guys on the next one.